welcome back to another episode of the Cilia Li Show, the podcast where it's all about helping you to become the best version of yourself and have a juicier life. Not only that, we're also here to elevate, educate, and entertain. I'm your girl, your bestie, Cilia Li. So, today I want to talk about my journey in pursuing a new career. Because the journey, it's not easy and it's not something that people talk about. And if you've been following me, you know that I used to be a personal trainer and I basically took the big risk and quit that. So you can call it somewhat stable income, and then just took a big risk to pursue the content creator life kind of career. But not only do I just want to share mine, I also want I want you to hear someone else's experience and their journey, especially having, I call it ethnic parents, because it's kind of like a taboo to be working in a professional job. But anyway, so today I have invited a good friend of mine who actually have been on my podcast before. It's been actually almost a year and a half now, and so much has changed in her life too. So I thought she's the perfect person to come on, and I wanted us to basically share our experience. So without further ado, welcome Miss Martha.
Hi.
How you doing?
I'm good. It's nice to be back in the studio.
Yeah, and the last time you came was like 2023, and so much has changed in your life in terms of career-wise and also mine. And it's all right. But yeah, I wanted just share what you've been doing, like what's different, because when you first came to my podcast, you wasn't even a podcast host. Now you're a podcaster now. So, but yeah, tell us about what you do, your podcast, everything.
Okay, so I think when I first came on, I did have Woman Up, but it was very much like an idea in the ideas phase. I'm not sure if we'd already done an event together by that point. Maybe it was just before that. Yeah. So I'm like fully in Woman Up now.
What is Woman Up?
So Woman Up is a space where personal growth meets sisterhood. So it's a community where we basically every month just keep each other on like a personal growth journey. So we have an accountability group, we have guest speakers every month. You have a goal and intention setting call every month with me. We also have like bonus calls. So in January, you're going to be our bonus call. So we're going to be doing a live workout with you. So it's just like different things happening throughout the month within the community, but also even when we're not like live together, there's this accountability group where people are like, this is what's happening in my life. Like, these are my wins, like just to keep people on track. Because I feel like all of us have like so many goals and like so many things we want to achieve. But when you're doing it on your own, I think it's really hard. And it just stemmed from me relaunching my podcast in June last year. And then just like connecting with so many different people, like my guests, and like interviewing so many people that are doing like amazing things. And then I built up what I call the Woman Up Podcast Network. And those people want to give more, like they want to go like beyond the podcast, and even like the audience want to go beyond as well, because they're really interested in my guests. And so most of the people that have been on the podcast contribute afterwards in the community. So it's really exciting. There's so much happening.
Yeah, like so much. Like you just said, you launched last year June, so 2024 June, and you've already done so much, and it's so good. Like I think I said this to you before. Actually, I have said it to you before. Like watching your journey actually inspires me to like, Celia, you can also do it. Just stay focused.
Yeah.
And I love it. So like, I was saying to you the other day, like, how do you explain to your parents what you do? Because I still don't know how to explain to my parents, because my parents from a generation where they care about job titles. You know what I mean? Like if they ask you what you do, they want a job title, not like you're not like describing, oh, this is what I do, that. Because nowadays I feel like, well, for me anyways, actually a lot of people as well, they don't just do one thing, they do a lot of things. For example, like me and you, we got a podcast, right? And I do food content, and I do Pilates, and you got the podcast, you got the accountability group, things like that. What do you tell your parents?
So I actually have reached a point now where I don't really like go in depth with my parents. I think that I was actually talking to someone today about this, is like when you're in like a building stage of something new, specifically like your own business or like a podcast or something that's like out of the norm, I don't think that you should share it with other people. I think you need to like keep it close to you, because this building phase is like a really important phase. And so it's really difficult to keep building when you have other people's opinions,
Yeah.
especially people that don't get it.
Yeah.
And it doesn't necessarily mean that, oh, they don't get it because out of spite or anything like that. No, it just means that it's something that they don't specifically understand. And especially parents, like they love you, they want the best for you. So they want to protect you, right? So they might say, well, how does a podcast make money? Or like, how are you going to buy a house? Or how are you going to XYZ, right? But it's because their level of understanding is different to ours.
Tell me, what have your parents said so far to you?
Well, I don't really like tell them that much.
Yeah.
So I did tell them recently that I launched the community, or that I announced the community
Yeah.
to launch in January, and they just really didn't get it. Like, my dad was kind of like, I don't understand, like, what are they paying for? Like, what do they get?
Yeah.
So then I explained to them like what they get every month, and he was like, but you're not going to send them anything. So for him, like, paying for something is like you have
tangible.
to receive something,
Yeah.
like you have to receive a product. And it's okay. Like, I remember in that moment just being like, I love him because he's my dad, obviously, and like he wants the best for me, so he's like giving his opinion, but at the same time he hasn't grown up with people building businesses like that. Like, when he was younger, building a business was, I don't know, you have like, you're a car mechanic and you have a garage, like you have something tangible. So you have to just like, I think I give my parents snippets of what I do, and they know I have a podcast, and sometimes I'm like, oh, I recorded a podcast today or whatever, if they say like, oh, what did you do today? But I just don't go into depth because I think I'm not ready yet, or I don't have like the evidence. Like, I hate saying evidence, but I don't have what you would want me to have from this yet, so I'm not going to go into detail.
Yeah, because like same like my parents, they pretty much most of their life they had their own business, which is Chinese takeaway, and so for them, a business is, like you said, something, a physical product, and you have and a physical place. So it's only recently they kind of start understanding, okay, you can do business online, whereas before that they were just like, how, you don't have a place, how are you going to do business, right? Or because Chinese takeaway is always cash, cash flow is constant, and so they think like they don't. It's almost because they've never been through the process of seeing something. They start small and then wait for it to grow big. Whereas the Chinese takeaway is literally, you open a door, yes,
People
it's goes
come.
slow, but people come straight away, right? So there's cash instantly, and so they expect me to do that as well. So when I tell them, yeah, well, they also know I've got a podcast. They don't really ask much about it. They never. I don't. They did ask if I'd make money, but I kind of didn't avoided that question because I don't want a negative energy. I'm just like, I just avoided that because I know what they said. Like, so they'd be like, "Why are you doing that if you're not going to make money?" I'm just like, whatever, fuck off. Not that I'm gonna say that, but so for example, like I used to be in events. So back then I used to be able to say, "Yeah, I'm an events manager," but now when I start doing this now, and I said, "Oh, I'm going to do events," for example, that's how we mean you did the event. Yes, it was our first one, and also okay, we only had basically one sign up, one person, but it was okay. And I like the fact that you said, "Oh, just keep doing it as a practice." So I don't know if I told you this, but on the morning of that day, I said to my mum, I was like, "Oh yeah." She goes, "Where are you going?" I said, "Oh, I'm going to run an event." She goes, "Do events? You doing events again?" I'm like, "Yeah, I told you I want to get back into events." She was like, "Oh, okay. What kind of event? How many people are coming?" I was like, "Fuck, I know what's she gonna say." I was like, I lied to her. I was like, "About 5." And then my dad went, "Is that including you?" And I was like, "Fuck yeah, it is including you, your mum." And then, so anyway, and I was just like, "Oh, don't." I was like, "Just mind your business, man. Don't worry about it." And then anyway, she was like, "Okay, whatever." And then basically, my mum was like, "Is that what you call an event? Just for 5 of you like that?" And it's like, an event doesn't have to be, because in her mind, because she used to hearing what I said, or
Yeah,
hearing
like a
what I used to do,
conference.
yeah, things like that. So anyway, whatever. Anyway, that night came back home now. My dad was like, "How did it go?" I was like, "No, it was really good." And then mum was like, how much money did you make? And I was like, don't worry, like I didn't make much money. She was like, why did you do it then? How's that an event? I was like, Mum, this is a process. I said, you can't expect people to know me already. Like it's a process you got to do. You got to keep going. And they're just like, all right, do what you think, like that. And then it just frustrates me, the fact that they don't get it. And I think deep down I want them to get it, but I know they won't get it.
Yeah, but then you have to ask yourself, like, why is that so important to you?
I think growing up, like I said this to you before, growing up, because Chinese culture, the Chinese parents are strict. They want their kids to achieve like good grades, always like A stars, right? If you don't get an A, why? If you don't get an A, why didn't you get an A? It's like, if you got a B, what the fuck? You dumb or something? If you get an A, okay, why did you get A star? Why was it A? If you get an A star, it's expected, right? Sort of thing. I never got any A's or A star, by the way. Sorry, my mum already think I'm a failure in that sense. I got all B's, but anyway. But always trying to. I think is always wanting to be good enough to show them that am I good enough? Am I good enough? So I've always been one compared to all my cousins who's got A's and go to like well-known unis, having professional jobs, making good money, things like that. And her friends. My mum comparing me to her friends' children who also got like 10 A stars or something like that. I remember when I was in GCSEs, there's one point where I kept hearing Chinese children, Chinese teenagers getting this amount of A's, this amount of A stars, and the amount of pressure wanting to prove to my mum that that I'm good enough. Yeah. And I think that's what I've taken that mindset with me until now, even though it's not about education, but yeah, I'm trying to prove them, get the approval.
Yeah, but I think at the end of the day, you have to believe in what you're doing.
Yeah.
And you have to be doing it for your own reasons, not for reasons like, I want to prove my parents wrong or whatever.
I think subconsciously I have a little bit of that.
Yeah, I think there is like...
Yeah. And I do always tell myself like things, because I don't tell them the details like you do. I don't tell them the details either. I just like wait for the results. But it just frustrates me when they keep asking me like, so what's happening? Like, why haven't you still made any money? Like, what are you doing? Just get a fucking job. And I'm just like, you just get it. Like, my mission, my life purpose is I want to help people. And then go like, oh, well, you can go China and help people. There's like a 3 billion population there or something like that. Why do you have to be in the UK? They just have a limited mindset, and it just frustrates me.
Yeah. I think it's hard like to get to a stage where you're like, I don't really, like I don't get affected by your opinion, if that makes sense.
So are you at that stage where you're not affected now?
I think that, no, because I think my parents are more like, they don't get it, but they're not unsupportive. So it's not, they wouldn't be like, why don't you just get a job? Like, they wouldn't say stuff like that to me. So I think it's different. But I just think I'm at a place where I don't need them to understand it, because I know the fruition of what I'm doing is coming. And then at that point, they'll understand it. But at this point, all I want to focus on is my building phase. And I can't let like other people's opinions deter me from that.
So they don't say anything negative to you. They literally just, apart from when you mention your community, and they're just like, okay. So
yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Like, it's not negative. Like, they'll just be like, I don't really understand. Like I said, like my dad was like, so I don't understand what they get like for the monthly membership. But they wouldn't be like, you should just get a job, or you should just XYZ fill in the gap. Like, they wouldn't try and dictate what I should do. They just don't really understand.
Were you ever seeking for your parents' approval like you were?
Yeah, definitely. Like, went through a phase where I was like, I felt like a bit of a failure, and like when I quit my job as well, and I was like, I don't have anything tangible where I can be like, oh, I have this, and this brings X amount of money a month or whatever. I didn't have that. So I felt like a bit of a failure in their eyes. But I think at the same time, that's my own like belief.
Yeah.
Like, they haven't actually said to me, we think you're a failure. like that's just something that I'm putting in my own head.
a story that we told ourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now, after that session with CJ, I actually went on ChatGPT to help me write a script. Every morning I've been doing a tapping.
Oh, I love that.
So it's helping. It's helping. But yeah, talking about, like, for example, have you got TikTok?
No, well, I do, but only for like podcast clips.
Oh, okay. So I've got TikTok as well, but I'm not that active. But anyway, like about 2 years ago, when my dad started like getting to know more about TikTok, right? And he started hearing about how people make money on TikTok. And he goes to me, guess what he goes to me? He goes, my mum and my dad goes, you should get on TikTok and you dance. Why don't you just dance live and people will pay you?
Yeah.
Like basically like almost like a free show, like dance and I was like, you don't need to do nothing, just dance and they will pay you. That's how you make money. I was like,
no, it doesn't work like that.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't work like that. And then so now they're more encouraging. They are kind of somewhat supportive of like about me doing stuff online because they see people making money, but they don't understand how it works. They think literally you set up a TikTok account, go on live, and you will make money. And I was like, no. I tried to explain to them, you got to get a certain amount of followers to be able to go live first of all. And then once you do go live, you got to have people who are willing and that know you and trust you then to pay you. It doesn't work like that. And then there's this lady who works for my parents at the Chinese takeaway. I think she has some sort of agency or something that helps people build their TikTok account. But it's helping them buy bots. So it's not real followers, right? So then my mum and dad was like, oh, you should speak to her. She said she can help you get this amount of followers and you can go live, da da da. I was like, so okay, cool. So I spoke to her on the phone to find out how it works, and she told me how it works. I was like, okay. And then I went back to my parents. I was like, no, I don't want to do that because it's fake followers. When I do want to sell something, people are not going to buy from me.
Yeah.
So it's not about having the followers. And then it's like I'm trying to explain to them, and they just keep saying that I'm stubborn. That I think I know better or something.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, okay, whatever, I know what. And then also another thing. So you do know if, like, having filter is a thing in they call it beauty cam in Chinese culture.
Oh, really? No.
Yeah.
I know that.
Anyway, so basically, make sure your face looks slimmer. And pay whiter skin. Anyway, so that lady who works for my parents, she looked at my TikTok while she was at work with my mum. Going through my TikTok and went to my mum. Reason why your daughter don't have many followers is
because she's not using the beauty cam.
Yes.
No.
Yeah. And then so my mum came back home. I was like to him, oh, do you know what May said? She said that the reason you don't have followers because you're not using beauty cam because people like to see that are very aesthetically like appealing or that. And I said, Mum, first of all, I don't need it.
Yeah, exactly.
I said, second of all, I said, my message is about self-love. It's embracing who you are.
Can you imagine
if
you're just fully filtered up?
Exactly. So why am I going to use a beauty cam? I'm contradicting myself. And then she was like, oh, okay, well, I'm just telling you, blah, 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 that. And I was like, and furthermore, I said, I think it's very actually toxic to even think that you need a filter on your face to love yourself and feel accepted. I said that's not the mindset I want, Mum.
Also, there's loads of TikTok people that don't use filters that have massive following.
Exactly, yeah. And I was just like, I said, stop listening to her, okay? And also, that same lady, one time, she goes to me, I showed her a video, right, of one of my dance videos. She goes to me, you should use, I don't know what the app is called, but she goes, you should use this app. I was like, what is it? It will make your legs look slimmer.
Oh, stop it.
I was like, and I looked at her, I was like, I don't need it.
Yeah, you don't need it.
And she was like, say nothing. But yeah, things like that. And then, yeah, my parents just care about the money anyway, at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Fast cash, basically.
Yeah. Maybe you should just start like your own Chinese like takeaway just to like cover for like the stuff that you're doing.
That's more work, isn't it? That's going to be more work.
Yeah.
People always ask me, like, are you going to take over your parents' takeaway? I was like, no, absolutely not. That's not something that I want to do. I mean, don't get me wrong, as much as I love food, I wouldn't want to take away. If I was to have a food business, I would do it differently, not like your typical Chinese takeaway. Yeah.
You should have like a nice restaurant.
I thought about having a pop-up restaurant before.
Oh, okay.
Because I love cooking.
Yeah.
I don't know if I told you I used to have like a meal prep business.
No.
I used to cook for people. And so this is another thing. So I did that, right? For a bit. And because I didn't know how to scale it, and I stopped. And while I was doing it anyway, I was doing quite well. I had quite like it was a good amount of people like buying from me. But in the background, I had my parents just going, "Why are you doing this? How much are you making? How much are you charging them? Oh, is that all you're charging? Oh, look at you. You know, you're spending all this time. Da da da. Just you're losing. You're making a loss. Da da da. All this discouragement. I'm just like, whatever I do, you don't believe what I do.
Yeah.
It's annoying. Yeah. Just a quick one. I want to ask you a big favor. Can you please subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't already done so? Follow me on Spotify or whatever platform you're listening on, because it would help me grow my channel, help me reach more people. It would mean the world to me. Thank you so, so much. All right, let's get back to the episode.
But not just say to them, I don't really want to talk about my business anymore.
I do. I don't really tell them. They just go, cool. All right, don't tell me then, something like that.
Yeah.
But then just they like to add their opinion every now and then. Yeah. But anyway, how do you talk about the process? What do you think? You know, the process of like this pursuing this entrepreneurial journey, I guess. What are the things that people don't see?
My God. They don't see me like crying in my bedroom.
Yeah, because a lot of times, what you see you always see people on Instagram, they made it. They don't really see what happened, like maybe 5 years or 4 years or whatever.
Yeah,
behind the
it's funny.
scenes.
I was thinking about this as well recently because I was like they don't see you like editing for like hours on end. They don't see you like planning and just like all the back end stuff that goes to create even just one episode when you're doing it on your own, like when you don't have a team to like do everything for you. Like I said, like they don't see me crying in my bedroom when I just think this isn't like, you know, when I don't feel like I necessarily want to show up online or when I feel like what I'm doing is stupid.
You still have those moments. Then?
Yeah, of course. Like, I think we're all human. Like, I think at every level of success, there's still going to be moments where you think, am I doing things right? Or is this stupid? Like,
why do you think it's stupid?
Because before I announced the community, I did a 5-day challenge, which you were part of, right? And I remember basically what it was is every single day we were like sharing each other's wins. Like we set goals at the beginning of the week and then we were keeping each other accountable throughout the week, right? And that was like my snippet of what the community is going to be like, but just like squashed into 5 days. So I obviously wanted to create like a buzz within the group and I wanted to make sure that people were just like having a good time and like feeling supported, and I had guest speakers and there was just a lot happening. But then every single day I was like, am I doing enough? Like, am I saying enough in the group? Am I motivating them enough? Oh, there's not enough chat going. Like, how can I make how can I get them to like communicate more? Or maybe it's my fault. Like, and then I did like every morning I would do like a video or like something to like you know, like get everyone motivated in the morning. And then if no one replied for a few hours, it'd be like, well, why aren't they replying? They must think it's stupid. Maybe they didn't watch the video. And it's just all things that are just like going on in your own head that no one's saying anything. No one's saying it's rubbish.
I was actually going to say to you, it's like, how do you feel when people don't reply? Because do you feel like, do you get angry? Like, why the fuck are you not replying, man? I put all this effort, you're not replying. Like, what the fuck, man? Why are you in this group then? You're not going to reply. Be honest.
No, I don't get angry. I always like internalize things. So I'm always like, maybe they just think it's dumb, or like maybe I'm doing it wrong, or maybe like it's always directed at me. So
I do. I'm a bit of both.
Yeah.
Like, there's this voice be like, oh shit. Like you, I'm like, shit, like, is this stupid? Oh shit, did I say something wrong? Oh, maybe it's not catchy enough. Da, da, da. Then the other voice is like, what the fuck is wrong with you people, man? You say you're interested, you signed up. I did not force you to sign up, and now you're not doing it. Like, what is going on?
Yeah, but then people were just like replying in their own time, and like a lot of the time they would reply in the evening. So then I was like, okay, well maybe evenings are better for people. And then at the end of the challenge on day 5, I finished off with like a closing call where I had like people give feedback, and then I did like my little 10-minute like pitch for the Woman Up community, right? And then I remember before that, I wasn't even going to have a slide
Yeah.
that had like the QR code to sign up because I fully was like, no one's going to sign up.
Yeah.
I just want to practice talking
Yeah.
about the community. And so, like, I feel like I'll never forget this moment. Like, when I finished and I was like, okay, so the last slide was thank you.
Yeah.
And then the slide before that was the QR code.
Yeah.
So then on the last slide, I was like, okay, guys, so thank you so much. I've loved having these 5 days with you. Da, da, da. And then, do you have any questions? And then one of the girls was like, yeah, can you go back to the QR code? I was like, in my head, I was like, what? But then I was like, of course she wants the QR code.
Yeah.
Like, why wouldn't she?
Yeah.
Like, why am I like so hard on myself that I don't put value on the thing that I'm offering?
We need to change our mindset.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because like when you was doing that, because obviously I was on that call as I was driving, and when I was hearing you pitch, in my mind I was thinking, oh my God, well done, Martha. You've done so well. Because I was thinking, I would be so fucking nervous as well. Because one time I did a webinar, a free webinar called, this was ages ago, like how to be magnetic as fuck. It was ages ago. And only one person signed up.
Yeah, good.
Anyway, cool. Yeah, so it was live. I'm basically going through the slides. I'm teaching you how to be magnetic as fuck, right? Anyway, and the last slide was when it came to pitching. Thing is, in my head already, I was thinking, this person is not interested in signing up. So I was just kind of like, but in my head I was thinking, let me just continue talking, just practice how to pitch anyway. She didn't sign up because she was already doing coaching sessions with me anyway. But so I guess she signed on to support me. So so in my head, I felt she signed on because she wanted to support me. So so I could have at least someone to come in and watch me to the webinar. Anyway, but yeah. So when I was doing the pitching, because I always told myself, oh, she ain't gonna sign up. No one's here. There's no point of doing the pitch. The way I was pitching the pricing, I was always like, kind of like, yeah, so this is going to be this. It was almost like I was the way I spoke about it was like, I didn't believe in it. So when I saw you do it, I was like, she did it really well. Like, yeah.
Oh, thank you. I do think though, like, at the same time that I think I'm like quite hard on myself, I also think that it's a good thing that I don't really like I didn't feel like an attachment to an expectation. So in like this world that we're in now where followers matter, likes matter, like all these things, people place like a lot of importance on like how many views, how many likes, how many followers, how many shares, how many saves, like just a million things that you can track, right? And it's like you're not worthy if you don't get X amount of like views or saves or whatever. But if you can just do something because you love it and not have this expectation of my value is placed on how many subscribers I get or how many people sign up to my product or my service, then you're in a really good position because there is no expectation. So when someone does sign up, that's like the best feeling in the world. Rather than if I was like, okay, so there's 10 people on the call and I want 5 of them to sign up and then only 2 of them sign up. Now my energy is down rather than my energy being up. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I get that because you know how recently I've just basically fell into doing food content, right? The culinary tour.
Yeah.
So literally I had no expectations. Literally someone just said to me, so after coming back from holiday, basically to give you the context, I went on holiday for 3 weeks to Beijing and Hong Kong, and people always know me that I like to eat, so I always post myself eating on stories. And so obviously I'm posting every single day me eating all this yummy food, and then someone who's been following me, I don't know her, she's from New York, she just follows me, and she was like, oh, you should do if you do a retreat in Hong Kong, me and my daughter would love to come. So at first I was like, me, a food tour? Like, okay. But actually, all the retreat is on my list. I've always wanted to do a retreat. I told you this before.
Yeah.
But I just thought it's a bit early. I actually said, not yet, because I haven't got a following yet like that, right? Anyway, so then I thought, actually, let me just put something out. So I did a poll on a story, asked who's interested, and I got like over 20 people saying, yes, I would come. I was like, okay, let me put something together. So as soon as I came back, I thought, let me jump on it while it's still like keep the momentum. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, keep the momentum going. created the, normally it would take me 2 weeks to like overplan stuff, overthink
Yeah.
stuff. This time I was like, you know what? Stop overthinking it. Just put it out there. So I created a post about my culinary tour, 5 day and 7 day. And then thing is, the 20 people who said they're interested, none of them signed up. But actually, no, except for one. But now I've got 3 people who signed up, paid a deposit,
Nice.
and I was actually so surprised. I was like, what? It's a culinary tour, so not retreat. But I was just like, oh my god.
Yeah, but it's your first step.
Yeah. That's exactly. I was like, oh my god, I didn't expect that. But and then the other voice was like, why did 20 people who said they're interested? Why are they not signing up? Why are you not signing up when you contribute to that poll?
Yeah, but that doesn't matter.
Yeah, I know.
They inspired
I know.
you to
Yeah.
create the thing.
Exactly. Yeah, no, that's the other voice. But then after part of me, it's like, you know what? That's cool. So now I actually decided I'm going to focus on my personal brand on food and travel.
Yeah.
And promote Chinese culture
I love that.
and Chinese food. So that's why now I'm doing more. I'm going to do more every month. Do a link up.
I saw that.
Yeah, go link up. Anyone can come. We eat. I'll take you to any Chinese restaurant. Maybe around right now Chinatown, but any Chinese restaurant that I want to go and explore. Let's link up and eat together. And I will teach you. I will show you the food. If it's a group of us, let's say if I go to a restaurant, I'll be ordering the food. You won't be ordering, because I don't want you to be ordering no chili beef strip special fried rice, because that's not Chinese food. Do you know what I mean? Like that. So yeah, but going to the point, basically, yeah, I get that. So because I didn't have expectations for that, I didn't care initially about how many people would like it. But I did start to get a bit of attachment as soon as people started signing up. I was like, what the fuck, like that. But still I'm chilled now. I'm just like, yeah.
We should promote that in the community for February. Because I wanted to come to this one, but I've just got so much happening like with the community for January.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go to Dubai.
So where are you going?
When?
Yeah.
On the 9th of January.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was like, oh no, I can't. Like, and it was someone's birthday as well.
Yeah.
So then I was like, oh, I hope she does another one, because then I'll come.
Yeah, no, I'm doing every month. So
that's
I want to do every month.
amazing. I love that.
Maybe like once or twice a month, like that. And also every week, I'm actually going to go out and by myself, or people can join me, and actually vlog me eating.
I love it.
Have more food content on my page.
Yeah.
But the Pilates is still going to be going on.
Yeah.
So that's another business, my body. But these are the two main things. So my personal brand is about promoting culture.
I love this.
But the next one will be Chinese New Year.
When is that?
29th of January. But that weekend, so I think it's the 1st of February, I believe. I'm going to go to Chinatown and have dim sum. So that's the second link up. Might be one before that. Yeah.
I love that. It's amazing.
Hopefully you can come to that one.
Yeah. I love it because I really want to try. I mean, I love food anyway, so I want to try like different food. I'm also like really bad with chopsticks, so you can like teach me.
Maybe we should do like a little
you should do
chopstick
like
workshop.
Yeah.
Actually, also do a real on how to use chopsticks. Although I actually hold the chopstick wrong.
Oh no.
As in, traditionally they said, well, it's an etiquette. You have to, if you don't hold it, if the chopstick cross, that's bad etiquette.
Ooh.
And I've taught myself to and mine cross.
Right.
But I use it well, but basically it's bad etiquette for me to cross my chopstick like that. But I can use it, but yeah. But anyway, so I want to move on to some questions, advice, like what we would give people advice. So if someone is camera shy, but wants to do content, what would you say to them?
Just keep practicing.
How?
Just get your phone out, get a little tripod if you need it, or even just like a little stand thing that you can put at the back of your phone so that you can stand your phone up, is what I mean. And just talk to the camera. Just record yourself. Like, you don't even have to post it anywhere. Just record yourself, choose a topic. If you want to script it at first, script it, plan it, use ChatGPT to help you, and just like practice. Because I think people get like really scared of like being bad on camera, but I think it's because they're comparing it to the stuff that they see online, and you're comparing your day one to someone else who's been creating content for God knows how long, right?
Yeah.
Even with me, like sometimes I said this on my stories yesterday. Is that I posted one of my little bloopers because I was like, I have more bloopers than I have like good edits. And then I was like, that is actually just like that's such content. A life lesson as well, though, because you are going to have more bloopers in live than you are going to have good
I love
edits.
that. Yeah.
Because you have to practice
Yeah.
whatever you're doing
Yeah.
for it to then become like, I'm really good at this skill or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, you don't pick up a piano and
No.
just like after one day you start playing, I don't know, Mozart or whatever.
Yeah.
You have to practice. You have
Practice,
to
yeah.
learn your chords. You have to learn X, Y, Z, and that takes time.
Yeah, I think you're right. Like people, like you said, people compare to other people what they see that's so well polished. But it's like, even for example, I used to be that person as well. I'd be like, oh, who am I supposed to tell? Who am I to do this? Because look at these people. Look how good quality it is. Da da da. But you actually learn as you do it.
Yeah.
So, for example, like just by me posting a video, or for like a week or something, every single day for a week, I learned something. Oh, what's the best way to edit, or how to make how to do this effect, or what works and don't work. And then when I look back, I see how my videos have how they've improved. And same with my Pilates video. So I used the webcam of my laptop and record on Zoom, if you've been on the class. Like that. And so when the playback, so the camera on the webcam on the laptop is not great quality. So I think 720, whatever you call it. Yeah, 2020p. So the playback is not great. It's kind of grainy. But I'm learning. Now this morning I found out that the DJI camera can be used as a webcam. I did not
Of
know that. I didn't know
course.
that. Like, as in, what I mean is, as in, you actually can just connect it straight to a laptop and just record it. Zoom, the Zoom can use this camera. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
This is what I've been doing. So ever since I bought it, I basically still be on the camera for Zoom using my laptop camera, and I have the DJI camera behind it and record like that.
Uh-huh.
So I've got like two cameras going, like that's working, that I'm using. And I found out this morning, I was like, oh my God, I can use it as a webcam. So now is what I'm saying. Like, the more I do, because I'm doing it, I've learned that how I can level up, how I can improve the quality. So now this is the journey. I went from 720p to now I can do
4K.
4K, yeah, basically. And the mic, before I was using a laptop mic, which was not great.
Yeah.
And then I used my podcast mic. Now I'm using the DJI mic. Oh my God.
Yeah, I agree. Like, as you go, you're going to learn new things as
Yeah.
well. Because I started doing the 7-day, I did like a 7-day series on
Yeah.
my Instagram reels,
Yeah.
and it was me talking to camera.
Yeah.
And it's just like every time I edit, I'm like, oh yeah, I know how to do this effect because
Yeah.
you just do X, Y, Z. Or I had to Google something
Yeah.
and then found out how to do it, and then now I can do it for like my other videos. So
Yeah.
you are going to learn like
Yeah.
as you do it.
And also, I noticed that you're more active on camera, because back then you didn't talk as much on camera. Yeah, so it's from practice on. And also, same with me. Like, I used to not like the way I look on camera, but now I'm thinking, fuck's sake, man. You always preach about be your true authentic self. Show up as your true authentic self, man. Like, who cares about if you got a spot there or whatever, things like that. Yeah. Okay, anyway, second question. If someone who wants to pursue their dream, like, for example, start a business, but they're scared to take the risk, what would you say to them?
Just do it.
Yeah, just do it. I think a lot of people, why they're scared is because, the risk, the unknown. They don't know if it. I think they're scared of failure. Like what people would think.
Yeah, I think the main ones are like scared of what people will think, fear of failure. But then again, you need to ask yourself, like, what is failure? Like, what does failure look like? Because you need to just like break down your goal. So if your goal is, oh, I want to start a podcast. Okay, great. So then just break it down into steps. I need to record my first episode. I need to edit my first episode. So then if you're constantly taking one step at a time, there is no failure.
Yeah.
The only failure is if you stop.
Yeah, not doing it. Yeah, something is better than nothing. Yeah. I think that's this. So I think this is pretty much like it's the same like the previous question anyway. Just freaking do it. You learn as you go. I think also don't be attached. I know it's hard, but don't be so attached to the end goal.
Yeah.
Yeah, and have realistic goals, like small goals, like you said, baby steps, and don't have don't have high expectations, as in like by this year I want to have earned this, but like have intentions. I'll say, and even if you don't, what I mean by don't attach yourself, meaning let's say you said, oh, first 2 years I want to make this amount of money or something, or this amount of customers. Even if you don't get it, reach those goals, just be grateful happy that what you've actually already made or got, like achieved from it.
Yeah.
That is not because you're not attached to it.
Mm.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Let me go back to the question, because
Yeah.
I feel like just do it isn't really like helpful.
Yeah.
So I think, just on like what you've been saying, I think whatever you want the end goal to be, then just work backwards is what I was trying to say. So like, if you want to launch a podcast with, I don't know, 1,000 subscribers, I think firstly, sure, write that down as like your intention, but then don't get attached to those 1,000 subscribers. Just break your goal down into actionable steps. Like I said, record my first episode. Is it a guest thing? Like, plan it out. If you need a coach during that time, then hire a coach, because that's someone who can take you through that process. But I think you have to focus on the process of getting to the end, rather than being obsessed with this, like, I need 1,000 subscribers. Like, I think when I first started, I was like, I really want 1,000 subscribers because then my YouTube channel will be monetized and and there was all these things. But when I actually wrapped season 1, I just had like, I was just crying of like joy because of like all the people that I've met from my podcast, like the friends that I've made, the connections that are now like contributing and want to contribute more to the community. Like, all these things have come about not because I have 1,000 subscribers, but because I learned to enjoy that process. And like, you have no idea the joy that is going to happen like throughout the process. Yeah, you have no idea the joy that is coming if you just let go and like go through the process rather than just being obsessed with the outcome. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah. Because I used to be really attached. I always attached to the end goal, like, and I beat myself up, blah blah, things like that. And same with like vision boards. There's some similar vision boards. I just look back and be like, fuck, I didn't do any of this stuff. None of this happened. Or only one thing happened. But then I was like, you know what? I just told myself it will happen in divine timing. Because I did see some stuff happen 2 years later. So I was just like, you know what? You just don't give yourself like a time frame. It doesn't have to happen in that 1 year. It's something, just hold on to that vision. It will happen in divine timing. But yeah, anyway, I think we kind of answered this, but anyway, how can someone gain confidence and put themselves out there more?
Well, I think confidence comes from doing the thing that you want to be good at, right? Confidence isn't going to come by you like researching or doing a course or whatever, right? Confidence comes from you taking continuous steps and your confidence in whatever that thing is improves. And then your confidence is like, what's the word when it's like, it's a result of you taking the action. It's not something that just happens.
I want to say this example. For example, riding a bike. This is a weird example, but riding a bike. You have never rode a bike before. Obviously, you're scared in it because you might be scared you fall.
All over, yeah.
But the more you practice, and you know when people say, wow, you've gotten really confident on that bike.
Yeah.
Because you know how to ride it.
Yeah.
You do a trick. So so it's like from doing, basically.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I guess it depends like what you want to gain confidence in, but I just think taking baby steps in whatever that thing is what's going to increase your confidence.
Let's wrap it up here.
Okay.
Anything else you want to add? Or maybe advice that you want to give people that we haven't mentioned?
I think just keep going. Like, I just think, I know it's cliche and it's like everyone just says the same thing over and over again, but I think people are saying it because it's true.
It's
like,
true.
Just decide what that thing is that you want to do for yourself or that you want to launch, whatever it is, and just break it down into steps and just take one step at a time. Like, that's it.
Yeah, and also I want to add to that. So, for example, like you say keep going. I basically quit personal training in 2023, July. And it hasn't been easy. I'm still figuring it out. Like, I've been changing a few times. For example, like I thought at first I was gonna become a self-love coach, but I tried it and I didn't like it. So I stopped doing that, and then I've been changing. Like, I'm still figuring it out.
Yeah.
Although I know what my main purpose is to help people, empower women, become the best version of themselves. But I just don't know what form. So I just want to say, like, keep going. It's okay if one thing didn't work. But you know your purpose doesn't mean you should give up on that dream. Keep going. Keep looking for it. And also, it's okay, because I know people say, "Oh, you should just focus on one thing and be good at it, and before you do other stuff." It's okay to be jack of all trades. I'm sorry, it's okay. Like, you can be a multifaceted person, because our soul came to this planet, to this earth, to have a exciting human experience, as I like to call it.
Yeah.
Not just to do one thing. If you feel like you want to do, I want to learn how to I don't know, bake a cake or something. I want to open my own bakery, or I want to start an online bakery in school or whatever, whilst also doing this and this and that. Then just do it. But like, just don't be attached to the end goal. Have high expectations. But yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, but thank you.
Thank
so much.
you.
I actually really enjoyed that.
Oh, good.
It was like therapy for me. I had to just vent. Yeah, but I think it's also nice the fact that you're also on that same journey, and I can see your journey, so it's also inspiring me, helps me keep going.
Yeah, that's good. Oh, thanks.
Anyway, how can people reach you, find you?
So Instagram is my main platform. So it's I am Martha Lucia. And if you want to know more about the community, it's womanup.ig, and there's all the links on there to hear about the community and get involved, because we've launched. So yeah,
you've launched. No, tomorrow you launch it.
We launch tomorrow, but by the time
you release it, it's launched. Yeah. So let's say if they listen to this episode like 6 months later, can they still join? Or
of course,
cohort? Oh no, you can join anytime.
Yeah, so the people that have joined now, obviously they're my founding members, right? And we do have a promo offer at the moment, which is actually 3 months for the price of one. But the price might have changed depending on when you listen to this episode. But the community will be open all the time.
Okay, great. Amazing. All right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Now, if you was listening to this on Spotify probably, or maybe iTunes, make sure you leave me a 5-star rating and some like, nice, leave me some love. And if you're on YouTube, don't forget to subscribe, so then you can, keep up to date. And it will also help me grow my podcast and reach out to more people. Anyway, thank you so much. See you at the next episode. Bye.
Bye.